Montreal, a man who has taken on a so-called starlight tour by two Montreal police officers in May 2012 has settled with the city for $25,000, but expressed disappointment the city dismissed his proposals to fight racial profiling and discrimination. Julian Menezes, who is of South Asian descent, was driven around town handcuffed in the back of a cruiser and dropped off far from home after the officers had hurled racial slurs at him. Julian Menezes Center is joined by Fo Niami, left the Executive Director of the Center for Research Action on Race Relations (CRARR), and Alon Babino, a law intern specializing in racial profiling with the group, at a news conference in Montreal on Tuesday, August 21. In June, Menezes concluded a $25,000 settlement with the city over a racial profiling incident where he was taken on a so-called starlight tour before being dumped by police far from home. Siddhartha Banerjee, the Canadian Press, Menezes, 36, told a news conference Tuesday he's relieved the case, which centered on racial profiling and excessive force, is complete. But he added he would be lying if he said the incident hasn't had a bit of a chilling effect on how he views law enforcement. "I try to check that and I try to say it happened to me, but this isn't every police officer," he said. "But I'm suspicious, I'm reticent and I try to avoid police as much as I can." Article continued. Below he expressed disappointment the city of Montreal did not consider measures to address what he calls systemic discrimination. Read more. Denial of systemic racism is dissociation from reality for Black and Indigenous people. It's part of daily life. The impact of racial profiling in Canada. War of words erupts between CTV reporter Marcy Ien, Toronto police over racism accusations. "I thought I was a full and equal citizen," Menezes said. "It strips you of your citizenship, it makes you feel like you don't belong here." One of the officers involved was former police officer Stephanie Trudeau, who was best known by her badge number. Agent 728, article continued. Below Trudeau, who has since left the police force, gained notoriety in Quebec around that time after a number of high-profile incidents caught on video put her in the spotlight. Menezes said he was detained as he attempted to defend a cyclist who was being intimidated by police during an arrest. He said he was handcuffed and dumped into the cruiser without a seatbelt, with his face slamming against the plexiglass divider as he was driven around erratically. Menezes was dumped in a Tim Hortons parking lot across town with no money and a $146 ticket. The Quebec Human Rights Commission upheld the complaint and initially awarded Menezes $40,000 in 2017, but the city challenged the award. The settlement, reached in June, comes without an admission of responsibility from authorities. It also didn't come with an apology, which Menezes said he would have appreciated. "It's an important step for restitution, it's an acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and that's the only way we can move forward to say there are things that happened that we need to remedy," Menezes said. Fo Niami, Executive Director of the Center for Research Action on Race Relations (CRARR), a civil rights advocacy group, agreed such a gesture would be important and that change must come from the top, such as the police chief or the mayor's office. "An apology does not carry liability. An apology is an acknowledgement of the fact that a citizen has not been treated well," he said. Menezes said the city did sanction a social and racial profiling program in March. "There are a lot of measures in there which speak to my experience and speak to the remedies we were thinking were essential, and it helped me make a settlement," he said. Alon Babino, a former RCMP officer who is a law intern at CRARR specializing in racial profiling, said the type of behavior described in Menezes' case shouldn't occur. "The starlight tour is one of many other practices that shouldn't happen in policing," Babino said. "In this particular case, there was a settlement, but was there an acknowledgement that something was wrong?" he said. "I'm not particularly surprised that something happened, but I'm surprised at how it was responded to.